change in our government if they were able to fix waste, fraud, and abuse. So we'll get to that coming up here in just a second. Let's talk about Moving Team 6, a company I truly believe in. I know the owners. This is a great family-owned business. They are growing. As a matter of fact, they opened up a brand new facility in Mesa. Now, they've always served the East Valley, but it's much more convenient, especially for storing property. They've got a great storage facility, but operating out of Mesa for the East Valley just makes it more convenient getting to and getting from your job site. If you are looking for work, they are hiring, and they are great employers. They treat their employees so well. They're going to train you very, very well. They're going to pay you very well and equip you very well. Overtime is available if you're motivated. You're a motivated worker, and they have a signing bonus. It's a great company to work for. If you're a veteran, they put you to the top of the list. And if you're a veteran looking to move, they offer a veteran's discount because they believe your service to this country, you've earned a discount. So there's just one more reason to contact Moving Team 6 when you're going to move. Go to their website. I think for your next move, you're going to love them. MovingTeam6.com. Spell out that word 6. MovingTeam6.com.
Road Trip with amazing Arizonans from KTAR. Mike Broomhead talks hospitality and great food with Jeff Mastro and Oliver Baggio. How to make it as a farmer in the valley with Schnepp Farms Mark and Carrie Schnepp. And Mike learns about Arizona's proud copper mining industry with Resolution Copper's Victoria Pesce. These episodes plus a lot more conversations between Mike Broomhead and amazing Arizonans on the podcast page at KTAR.com, on our YouTube channel, and on the KTAR News app. Amazing Arizonans is presented by Resolution Copper.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
KTAR News Flash.
At 10:16, I'm Patricia Valencia. This is what you need to know right now. The Mojave County Department of Public Health has released a statement confirming the death of a Mojave County resident caused by hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. According to the release, the source of the exposure could not be determined. However, local transmission cannot be ruled out. This strain of hantavirus, known as a sin nombre virus, does not spread person to person and is historically associated with cases in Arizona and the Southwest. It's carried primarily by deer mice. All of our top stories are just 15 minutes away. For more news, go to KTAR.com or the KTAR News app. A look at Wall Street right now. The Dow is up 131 points. S&P 500 is up 10 points. And the NASDAQ in the green, 36. For more money news, visit the Business Center at KTAR.com.
Folks, your home is probably the biggest investment you're ever going to make. And when you're putting money into improvements, you don't hire the cheapest guy. You hire the right one. That's why I trust Trevec Remodeling and Roofing. These are my kind of people. They show up, tell the truth, and do the job right the first time. If you're ready for a whole home remodel or to finally tackle that kitchen or bathroom you've been dreaming about, Trevec has you covered. Their designers listen, they communicate, and they treat your home like it matters, because it does. And yes, they handle roofing too. I love companies that operate with integrity, and Trevec is one of them. Find Trevec Remodeling and Roofing at Trevec.com. That's TRAVEK.com. Visit their website to view Trevec's portfolio and a complete list of services they offer all around the valley. Trevec, together, building dreams for 25 years.
It's Gatos. Injured in an accident? You need a law firm insurance companies take seriously. That's Sweet James. For over 25 years, they fought for injured victims with experience in more than 500 trials and a 98% winning record. Insurance companies know they won't back down. Trusted by thousands across Arizona and the official attorney partner of the Phoenix Suns. Call 1-800-9-MILLION. That's 1-800-9-MILLION. Or visit sweetjames.com. That's sweetjames.com. Tell them Gato sent you.
Thinking about buying a home? Curious what's really happening in the market? Tune in to Keeping It Real Estate with Amy B, where real estate gets real. We break down the latest market trends, mortgage updates, insider tips, and strategies you actually need to win in today's market. No fluff, no jargon, just straight talk, smart advice, and a little fun along the way. Catch us every Saturday at 5 p.m. on 92.3 FM KTAR News. Whether you're buying, selling, or just love staying informed, this is the show you don't want to miss. Smart moves start here.
Mike Broomhead, KTAR News 92.3, and the KTAR News app.
This is fascinating to me. The president believes that the anti-fraud task force being led by the vice president could save Social Security and balance the budget. Now, do we believe that there is that much fraud going on in government agencies, that the people doing business with the federal government? And I wonder if that's true. I think that there is a lot. He said, I think we have a chance to save Social Security without doing anything to it. We're going to make our Social Security so strong. The numbers we're finding out, we have great people in Social Security. We're going to make the Social Security so strong and so good. One of the complaints I have about government entities is that, as well-intentioned as people might be, we end up being a mile wide and an inch deep. We don't help the people fully that we should be helping, and we are trying to do too much for too many people. And we've got to protect these programs because they don't last forever. As a matter of fact, the prediction is that Social Security is going to be insolvent by 2032. We're talking 6 years. That in 6 years, we are going to be insolvent, which are going to be mandatory cuts to benefits. The fastest growing population of people seeking food assistance, according to my friends over at St. Mary's Food Bank, are the elderly, are people on fixed incomes, because you can't control grocery prices. And you may get an annual increase in Social Security benefits, a cost of living increase, but that takes a long time to get to you. So in the meantime, what do you do? And, you know, trying to keep a roof over your head when you've got medical bills also that are included in there. There are many people. Social Security, it doesn't secure anyone. The program is a mess. It's been a mess for a long time. Nobody's been fixing it. But getting rid of fraud, getting rid of the people that are gaming the system should be something that we have someone that is dedicated to that. I watch my personal stuff. I watch my credit like a hawk. I have my credit report is locked. You can't check my credit unless I unlock my credit. I've had, we talked about it on the air. We laughed about it on the air. I've had somebody open an account in my name that wasn't me. And I ended up having to fight for, I don't know how long it took me, but it took me quite a while to prove that it wasn't my account. It's a ridiculous thing to have to do. Do you remember that, Patricia? Were we talking about that here?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
So here's what happened. It's funny now. It wasn't funny then. So I had a rental house. I wasn't living in it, hadn't lived in it for a while. And I would go and check the mail. And I got mail that said, I got something from, I don't even read them because I got something from AT&T because I've never been an AT&T customer. Nothing against them. I just wasn't a customer. So all of a sudden, a year or so ago, I had pop up on my credit report that I owed AT&T $1,200 and the account was delinquent for like 6 months. So my credit report took a nosedive. So I went on, I challenged it, I disputed it, and they took it off. And so I thought, great. A year later, it shows back up, this time with a collection agency. So I disputed it again. This time, they said, nope, we're leaving it. Deal with it. So I had to reach out. Now it's funny, it wasn't then. I reached out to AT&T and talked to whoever I needed to talk to. And they said, well, you have to file a police report and you have to do all of these things to challenge this. And then before they could talk to me about this account, they needed me to prove that I was me. So they asked me these really weird questions like, which of the following vehicles have you ever been associated with? And a 2024 F-250, and whatever. And you got to pick the one of the four.
How nerve-wracking.
Right.
You're like, I don't remember my life.
Same thing. What about these addresses? Have you ever been associated with these addresses? So they asked me a bunch of questions. I failed the test.
I can hear Dylan's laugh through the glass.
I failed the test. So
am I?
They did it like 3 times, and after it did 3 times and I failed the test, they couldn't talk to me anymore because I couldn't prove I was me. And I actually said to the person, do you know that if you had done this with the person that opened the account, we wouldn't be doing this right now? But neither here nor there. My point is, I work really hard to make sure that somebody isn't defrauding me. I work really hard to make sure my credit is protected. I lock things up because it's mine. I'm sure you guys do the same. If you see a charge on your credit card that you didn't buy, you're going to ask, where did this come from? I mean, I think we've all done that. Get a revolving charge. We had an account we forgot we opened or whatever.
I've gotten a text before and said, did you buy something from TikTok?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as it's you. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah.
Having someone that does that in the government, in every department, state, local, federal, to make sure that you are who you say you are and that you're entitled to whatever it is that you're signing up for is huge. And we don't do it well enough.
I need that safeguard.
Right. Every company I know of has people that are in charge of accounts payable and accounts receivable so that you're not paying a bill that you don't owe. And the people that owe you money are sending you're making sure you're billing them accurately and collecting the money, following up and collecting money. It's the lifeblood of a business. It's considered non-productive labor, but it's the lifeblood of a business. And if you don't keep track, you're going to lose a lot of money on one end or the other. So businesses are diligent about that. Why isn't our government? Well, because it's not their money. And you're talking about so much money and so many people that things fall through the cracks. And if we could stop that, if there's any legitimacy to being able to save a government program like Social Security by just wiping out fraud, we ought to be doing it. Medicaid, this new lawsuit I said earlier today, I hope the Attorney General is sitting down because I agree with our lawsuit that's happening with these insurance companies. I don't know that it's accurate. It may not be. But the accusation is that they are colluding in order to pay less than they have to pay to providers. That's not right to a healthcare provider. If that's happening, those insurance companies should have to make good. And so I hope that this all of this is going to be resolved in the right way. Want to mention our Amazing Arizonans podcast one more time, brought to you by the good people at Resolution Copper. The episode we dropped this week, as a matter of fact, it's brand new as of yesterday, is Darcy Olson. She's helped thousands of our most vulnerable children, literally impacted the lives of thousands of children with her Center for Abused Children and protecting their constitutional rights. She has fostered 10 children. She has adopted 4. And her story is so compelling and so necessary for you to hear. You can go to the KTAR News app, KTAR's YouTube channel, or anywhere you download podcasts. Coming up in a moment, we'll talk about the Middle East. Stick around.
For over a century now, Ford has been part of America. In my family, it's been generations. Paul Calvisi here. My grandfather worked for Ford Motor. My first car, a classic Mustang, still have it. But going to our Desert Ford dealers today means getting more than a vehicle. We're talking a full suite of benefits like complimentary Ford mobile service or try Ford pickup and delivery. Yes, to and from your door, and it's easy scheduling in the Ford Pass app. Tough would be built Ford tough. More than a slogan, it's an identity of the F-Series trucks, and the all-new 2026 F-150 is the best yet. With a completely redesigned interior and exterior adventure, how about the Ford Bronco Sport? It says, let's get it, with 5 available trims so you can forge your own path. We recently bought a new Explorer at our Desert Ford dealers. Love the flexible seating up to 7. All the cargo room, the advanced tech. Bottom line, Ford is the future at our Desert Ford dealers. Just click buyfordnow.com.
Tune into The Truth About Money with Bruce Weinstein and Tim Travis.
We hand select each and every security in the portfolio as opposed to kind of the more cookie cutter approaches that a lot of the larger firms will take.
Understand challenges facing today's retirees.
They tell us what their wishes and their goals are. We create the plan.
Tune into The Truth About Money, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on KTAR News.
LaDonna Harvey here. It is home selling season, and you know that the biggest mistake you could make while selling your home is settling for less money. The good news is you have Orchard backing you up. That's not going to happen. Lowball offers can really wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less because you are just too tired of this nonsense. Well, that does not happen. You don't have to settle with an Orchard agent. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale. Their local agents right here in the Valley can help you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front to buy and move into your new home. First, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. And then once you're settled in, your Orchard agent is going to help sell your home on the market for top dollar. With Orchard, you don't have to settle, and you certainly don't have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much you could get for your home? Visit Orchard.com and get a free home valuation. Orchard.com.
Have you noticed all of a sudden there's a bunch of lawyers saying they're going to fight for you? Yeah, until you read the fine print below them. Hi, I'm Mark Breyer.
And I'm Alexis Breyer. We're the husband and wife law team. If you look closely at that fine print, you'll see not an attorney in this state or not a law firm.
You never trust your future in the hands of someone other than a serious, experienced trial lawyer. And you definitely can't trust someone who won't even tell you who they are.
Do your research after a serious injury. Call the husband and wife law team first.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
KTAR News now.
Good morning. It's 10:31. I'm Patricia Valencia. The war in Iran continues. To what avail?
Have we hit any of our objectives in the war with Iran?
Yeah, we're still in the middle of it. I mean, it's not over.
That's retired U.S. Army Major and military analyst Mike Lyons, who tells Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos that the Trump administration might have overestimated how easy it would be to get a deal.
The deal he wants is simple. No nukes in the future. No nukes at all for the Iranians. He wants to enrich uranium out, and he wants Iran not to threaten its neighbors.
Lyons adds that once the deal is met, he thinks victory will be declared, but it doesn't look like that will be anytime soon. Paul Burkett, KTAR News.
The Mojave County Department of Public Health has released a statement confirming the death of a Mojave County resident caused by hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. According to the release, the source of exposure could not be determined. However, local transmission cannot be ruled out. This strain of hantavirus, known as the sin nombre virus, does not spread person to person and is historically associated with cases in Arizona and the Southwest. It is carried primarily by deer mice. If you had thoughts on how Arizona freeways are set up, the Department of Transportation wants your feedback.
ADOT, the City of Phoenix, and the Maricopa Association of Governments are setting up a survey from now until June 30th to get community input on alternative design concepts for Valley freeways. Those freeways include State Route 51 south of Thomas Road and the mini stack where the 51, I-10, and Loop 202 meet. ADOT says they want to see what needs to be prioritized in terms of traffic, safety, and travel needs, as they expect I-10 traffic to increase by up to 60% by 2050 if no changes are made. They add that a planned fall meeting will address any changes that get submitted. Brandon King, KTAR News.
You can find that ADOT survey and more details at KTAR.com. And 50 years ago today, a car bomb exploded outside the Clarendon Hotel in Phoenix, fatally injuring an Arizona Republic reporter.
Don Bowles was investigating organized crime and corruption in Arizona in 1976 when he was killed. Axios Phoenix reporter Jeremy Duda has written a new book about the case and says questions remain to this day.
There were
a lot of conflicting and competing theories of the case. There are people who thought that the AG's office and the Phoenix PD got the wrong people.
After Bowles' murder, reporters from across the country came to Phoenix to investigate his death. There were several trials, but it's never been proven who ordered the hit. Chris Havlick, KTAR News.
Judah's book is titled Murder in the Fourth Estate. Now for a check on traffic from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center. Watch out for a crash on the left of the southbound Loop 101 near the Price Freeway near Warner Road. Also a new crash in Surprise at Bell Road and El Mirage. And a second crash in Surprise and Grand Avenue near Bell Road. This traffic update is brought to you by Red Mountain Weight Loss. Get real testosterone from real doctors right now at Red Mountain. Boost your energy, focus, and your sex drive for just $129 with no startup fee. This month only at RedMountainWeightLoss.com. That's RedMountainWeightLoss.com. And today's sunny skies, a high of 104. It's already 91 degrees in Casa Grande. Triple-digit heat with zero stress. Homes 2X will buy your home on demand with a 100% full value guarantee, and you can stay rent-free. Sell your home at homes2x.com. I'm Patricia Valencia on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Mike Broomhead, KTAR News 92.3 and the KTAR News app.
Interesting with the news out of the Middle East, the president having a pointed conversation with Benjamin Netanyahu about the attacks in Lebanon. We are still seeing oil prices elevated over where they've been over the last few days. Last week, at the end of last week, prices were dropping fairly significantly. I know that the WTI, or West Texas Intermediate, was trading at under $90 per barrel, actually somewhere around $87 per barrel. Not nearly as low as we would hope, but it was much lower than it had been at its peak. And Brent crude oil futures were trading at just about $90 per barrel. We now have seen, as of today's change, just about $1 per barrel for Brent crude oil and about $1.36 up on West Texas Intermediate. So West Texas Intermediate trading at about 93.5, and Brent crude oil trading at just about 96. And the reason why I keep going back to this, if you haven't heard me say it, is I look at these futures because the markets, when it comes to the economy and this commodity in oil and buying the futures, is a reflection of the people that make money. That's what they do. It isn't about politics for them. It isn't, I hate Trump, I love Trump, I believe. It is, what do we believe is going to happen? And with the uncertainty, it isn't as high as it was when the bombing was happening. It isn't as high as it was at the peak. It has come back significantly since then, but we were a year ago at about $60 a barrel. We talked earlier about the economy. This is something to be concerned about for everyone. The world here is watching this. But the Iranian economy is not good either, and that is the freeze we've put on them. Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, talks about Operation Economic Fury and how they've frozen over $1 billion in crypto assets, and that he believes they are coming to the end of their tether when it comes to the economy in Iran. And I think that may be very, very true. I don't think that that's very off. Militarily, they can't stand up to us militarily. What they've done is they've been lobbing missiles and lobbing drones at their neighboring states, but there really isn't much of a threat overall. And anybody that thinks that they are stronger than they were before is talking politically. The interesting about the politics of this is that Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, is going to be facing a congressional hearing. And I think it's the right thing to do. I still believe in the system and the way we divide our powers here. And in my opinion, I think being there is the right thing to do. I think we've got to finish what we started, and I think we should do it sooner rather than later. Hopefully the diplomacy is going to continue on. It's going to be with the leaders there that actually have power. And then the verification process has to happen. But in the meantime, Congress needs to send a message. I've talked about this a number of times, and I know that it's wishful thinking, and I would demand it of both sides. And what I mean is, if you're against what's happening, I respect it. I don't agree with it, but I respect it, and I also realize I'm in the minority, and I'm in the minority that's probably getting smaller every day. But if they've made their attempts in Congress to stop what the president's doing, and when their attempts to halt what is going on didn't work, we have to send a unified message as a country, and not for the sake of Donald Trump at all. It is for the sake of the men and women in harm's way and showing the will of the American people. I understand how contentious elections are. I understand how much Donald Trump, as divisive as he can be with people, is someone that you will never be on the side of. But there's something that is said in family court often, and that is when parents are dealing with custody issues and child support issues, often it's told to those parents, you have to love your children more than you hate each other. And if parents can get that through their head, it ends up being okay. But sometimes the emotions are so strong, you can't bring yourself to do that. And that's unfortunate because all it does is hurt the children in the long run. You know, you may not love your former spouse anymore, but your kids probably still do. That's their dad or that's their mom. And to have somebody they love say horrible things about them is damaging. And there's got to be a place where that doesn't happen. Well, in our country, we've got men and women in harm's way. You may not think they should be there. You have a right to feel that way. But when they are, don't we as a country have to show a unified front that if we are going to be there, we're going to stand behind those men and women and make sure they come home as safe as we can get them and as quickly as we can get them home. And so I understand the fight. I'm not saying don't have the fight. Go before Congress. If you're Marco Rubio, go before the Congress and state your case as to why we are there and why we should stay there and what victory looks like and how soon. And if the Congress then decides as a body that they're going to stand behind the president, then everyone in Congress should stand behind the president. I've gone as far as, and I don't know that this would ever happen, I realize this is absolutely wishful thinking, that the president of the United States should extend an olive branch to the opposition. You should talk to people like, and maybe they have. I don't know if there's been conversations between Mark Kelly and the president's office or Senator Ruben Gallego and the president's office. But the White House should be asking them for their input. And, you know, I know you don't want us there, but I need your help. But give us your advice. Mark Kelly, a decorated combat veteran from the air, and Ruben Gallego, a decorated combat veteran from on the ground. The two of them should be willing, as much as they would say we shouldn't be here, we don't like this. But as long as we have men and women in harm's way, we have to do our best to get them to victory. And if that means we have to give our military advice on the best tactics or the best way to do it, but that's, again, we've gotten so far from American politics, that's not even possible anymore. The base of both of those parties wouldn't allow it. If the MAGA base would never allow an extension of an olive branch to ask Mark Kelly's advice and then to give them credit if they gave it, same with Ruben Gallego, and vice versa. I don't think the Democratic base in Arizona would pat them on the back and say you're being a good American because you're helping the Trump administration in this war that we all hate. We've gotten to a place politically in this country where we have to not just disagree with the opposition, we have to hate them. We have to hate them. And if you don't hate them, we will elect somebody that does. Everything's a crisis. Everything is destroying the country. Everything is awful. Everything is illegal. And we've gotten so far off track. And I think that's part of what the Iranians are doing. I think they are trying to wait us out. They believe that if this regime change happens in the coming months, if they can get to the midterm elections, that maybe a change in the members of Congress, I don't think there's any way this goes on until the first of the year. We got to get the Strait of Hormuz open, and it's got to be the rest of the country has got to, or the other countries in the world have got to stand up to this. And we'll see. We will see if that happens. Speed cameras. We talked about freeways and speed cameras. And if you were asked to give your advice to ADOT about our freeways, what advice would you give them? We'll talk about that coming up here in just a moment. K2 Vision RLE is the procedure, refractive lens exchange. My eyes have been getting progressively worse as I got older. I was wearing readers. I couldn't read a computer screen. I couldn't read off of a page. I certainly couldn't read my cell phone without reading glasses, and even then it was becoming a struggle. So I decided to look into RLE. So I went to K2 Vision. I met with the people there. They did the exam. They advised me of what was available. I met with Dr. Kopstein. That's who did my procedure. He was amazing, as is his entire staff. They're going to answer your questions. They're going to give you a thorough exam. They're going to explain the procedure to you. The procedure was pain-free. There was no pain. I walked out that day. I didn't do sedation, so I left, and it was really the best decision I have made for myself medically in a very, very, very long time. Do yourself a favor. Look into this and see if it isn't right for you. Go to K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Hi, it's Wayne from AMCO, stopping by the station to check in with Roller.
Hey, Wayne, what's going on today?
Well, the biggest question I hear lately is, do you have to go back to the dealer where you bought your car to get service or repairs?
Wayne, that's a good question. Do you?
No, Roller. If you bought a new or a new used car and you have an extended warranty contract that's hiding in your glove box, please don't forget it's there and that you can use it at any AMCO.
Oh, I thought you had to go to the dealer to keep your warranty valid.
Yes, most people do, but that's not the case. You can have your vehicle serviced at any authorized service center, and AMCO is authorized by all of the major warranty companies.
Wow, that's great. It's so nice to have other options.
I'll say AMCO has dealership quality, rental cars, no hassles, and faster service.
Wayne, that's great. And just to make sure, AMCO does more than transmissions, right?
That's right. If you need your vehicle repaired or hear, feel, see, smell, or even think you have a car issue, please call AMCO first or for a second opinion.
There you go. Google AMCO for your nearest location. That's AMCO, AA, MCO, transmissions, and a whole lot more.
It's Bruce St. James, and I'm sitting here with the Oliver Smith of Oliver Smith Jeweler. I don't want to make reference to how long you've been doing this. How long do you tell people you've been doing this?
45 years. Yeah, I do. You know, I started selling chains in the beginning because jewelers had such an egregious markup. You know, markups allowed on something that you create and you make yourself, and I get it. You know, you're allowed to make money as an artist. But when it comes to buying a chain and selling it again, I wanted to be that guy that was fair with my prices. And I wanted to be able to take care of my customers. And again, I wanted them to be happy. I wanted them to skip out of the store and not going out of there thinking, oh my God, what did I do? You know, so it's really important for me that they have a really great experience when they come into one of our locations.
You'll find Oliver Smith Jeweler at their flagship store, Scottsdale Road and Doubletree Ranch Road, also inside the Scottsdale Fashion Square Mall, and always online at oliversmithjeweler.com.
All right, show of hands. Who's got that leak at home, right? A clog you've been ignoring. I know, been there at Casa Galvisi. No more, because right now you can get $75 off any plumbing repair with day and night air conditioning, heating, and plumbing. Yep, from small fixes to major repairs, the day and night expert plumbers are ready to get things flowing again quickly, reliably. Don't deal with plumbing problems when you can get $75 off right now any plumbing repair at dayandnightair.com. Limited time offer, conditions apply. Schedule online at dayandnightair.com.
Imagine someone watching interest rates for you all day, every day. That's exactly what Rate Owl from Lund Mortgage does. Our proprietary technology scans over 50 wholesale lenders 24/7, looking for the right rate at the right cost for you. And when it hits, we alert you right away. No constant checking, no second guessing, and no missed opportunities. Because your time is better spent with the people you love, not stressing over the market. Let us do the work so you don't have to. Go to lundmortgage.com/Rate Owl and enroll for free today.
KTAR News Flash.
At 10:46, I'm Patricia Valencia. This is what you need to know right now. The Arizona Department of Transportation is looking for your help from now until June 30th. ADOT is looking for feedback on lane configurations and ramp connections at the 10 and 51 freeways near Central Phoenix. ADOT says the plan is to get those responses before setting up a fall meeting to go over proposed changes. You can find that ADOT survey and more details at our website. And President Trump now says the U.S. will have a deal with Iran, quote, over the next week, following his call with Prime Minister Netanyahu yesterday. Sources describing the call as tense, with President Trump fuming and accusing Netanyahu of being ungrateful. The president then writing on social media that Israel and Hezbollah agreed to scale back the fighting, saying the talks are continuing at a rapid pace. All of our top stories are just 15 minutes away. For more news, go to KTAR.com or the KTAR News app.
KTAR News pays tribute to Valley teachers.
So we partnered with your Valley Toyota dealers. We wanted to come into your classroom, just take a couple quick minutes and give your teachers some money.
Nominate an outstanding teacher for a $2,500 check. Text the word teacher to 620-620 and pay tribute to a teacher. Message and data rates may apply.
Can't raise your arms, climb stairs, or kneel down? That means you can't play with the kids, golf with the guys, or get through a workday without exhausting pain. Let's celebrate what you can do. And that's exactly what QC Kinetics patients are doing. Not bracing for the next jolt of pain. It's gone. They've moved on, back to living their lives. So many of you have been through QC Kinetics game-changing regenerative treatments, done right in the office. No missing work, no surgery, no long recovery. The inflammation calms down. The pain backs off. Hearing about these life-changing treatments on KTAR News helped you dig out from under that long list of can'ts and get back to living your best life. Let's get rid of that pain, starting now. The consultation's totally free to see if you're a good candidate. Call QC Kinetics now, with clinics in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Peoria, and Chandler. 602-837-PAIN. That's 602-837-PAIN. 602-837-PAIN.
It's Gatos, and make sure you listen to the first 5 minutes of Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos. 2:05 sharp, big surprise. You won't want to miss it. You want a hint? Maybe there are 50,000 reasons you should listen, or watch us on the KTAR YouTube channel at 2:05.
All right, when was the last time, Patricia, you got a speeding ticket?
Oh, gosh, don't jinx me, because I told you I just saw a flash the other day, but I was hoping it wasn't me. I don't even remember. It was so long ago. It was before Katie was born.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, I would say 10 years, going on 10 years.
Yep.
She's going to be 10 next month.
It's been quite a while for me. The Phoenix thing is the speed cameras, and I don't count that because it's different. But I don't think I've gotten a photo radar ticket.
Better knock on wood here.
Yeah, long time.
I have some traveling to do. I don't need no tickets. But yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while for me as well. But Phoenix has already issued over 30,000 citations since the beginning of this whole
the speed cameras.
Because for a while they gave out 51,524 warnings during the grace period.
I want to know how much money all that accumulated in tickets.
Yeah,
because I know it's going to range on each ticket.
Yeah, but also I wonder what is the percentage of people that are paying the ticket
instead of
right away,
right
before a process server shows up.
Action on it, yeah.
I wonder how many people are doing that.
I wonder if they even have numbers on that yet, because it's still so fresh.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot of citations.
Yeah, you can go to driving school. You can pay the ticket.
What did you do last time you got a ticket? Did you pay it?
I don't remember. I've been to driving school.
The driving school. I remember you told me about that.
The driving school is ridiculous. It is a ridiculous exercise.
Take your foot off the pedal.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous exercise. But it is the punishment that keeps you on the straight and narrow, because I don't want to ever have to go sit through that again.
Yeah.
I told you, so this idea that Phoenix, and it must be working. If you gave out 51,000 warnings, and now it's 30,000, still a lot of tickets. But if you've dropped from 51,000 to 30,000, it seems like people are getting the message, especially those fixed cameras where you know where they are in those neighborhoods. Is it people speeding up, though, as soon as they get past where the cameras are? Because they've got mobile units, too. That's the one that gets you, is the mobile ones. Because you're not expecting it.
I hate those cameras. I'm always so scared.
In Paradise Valley, they have signs that say photo radar ahead.
Yes.
Phoenix is, we're not warning you.
Give you a warning.
We're not giving you any warning.
That's what it's there for.
That's what it's there for.
You should have been slower in the first place.
Have I told you the great story? I've said it on the air so many times, and I feel bad because I know that sometimes they listen to the show. That years ago, the ticket I got from the trooper in the West Valley. Have I told you this?
And then you went to present at a place, and he was there.
It was
to honor him or something.
Yeah. So I used to be the MC. There's 3 different ceremonies for DPS across the state because it's such a big agency. And when they do their their sworn and unsworn, their civilian employee awards. I would go to Flagstaff and do Northern Arizona, Tucson, Southern Arizona, and then Mesa in what they call Central Arizona. And so I got pulled over in the West Valley on a Sunday afternoon. I wasn't paying attention. And Trooper was terrific. He was very professional and wrote me a ticket and was very nice. And I waited until...
Did his job.
Yeah, he did his job. I waited until he wrote me the ticket because I didn't want to name drop. And I didn't want to... I will never name drop to try to get out of a ticket. Ever, ever, ever will I ever do that. I think it puts a cop in a really bad position, and I never want to do that.
It looks bad on you, too.
Yeah, I deserve the ticket, so I got the ticket. So after he wrote me the ticket, I said to him, listen, I said, I just want to say thanks. You guys are always so professional. I said, I know the DPS director and I know the major over patrol. I said, and I talk about you on the radio. It makes it so much easier for me to say good things because of how professional. You guys are ambassadors for, the state, and you do a great job. I said, I MC your award ceremonies across the state, and I love doing it. I said, so I just want to thank you for your professionalism. And he looked at me like I had kicked him in the stomach. I mean, he looked so dejected, and he goes, Ma, I said, no. I waited until after you wrote the ticket. I'm not saying anything. I deserve the ticket. He goes, no, you don't understand. He said, I just got named Trooper of the Year for Metro West, and you have to give me my award in 2 weeks.
You should have given him the ticket back when you gave his award.
No, I brought it. I brought it with me.
Should have framed it.
Well, he had to work that day, but members of his squad were there. So they were texting him because when it came time for that award, I still had to read the award. I pulled the ticket out and showed it to the crowd.
This is how good of a job he does.
Yes. And I also found out that his wife is a regular listener, loves the show. So I got to meet him, and I've gotten to meet her, and it's been very cool. But it's they're just doing their job.
Right.
I deserve the ticket. I would never name drop to get out of a ticket. I
hate when people do that. That looks bad. Don't you know who I am?
Yeah, that one gets me. Because,
no one is above the law.
Because the best part of that is that's the fastest way to talk yourself into a ticket.
That's the fastest way to be like, look at the ego on that
I'm
person.
friends with the mayor. Good. Tell him I need a raise. Whatever.
How fun for you.
Yeah,
That's what I'm going to say.
So but I just think that when being very serious, I've done my best to slow down, and I have slowed down quite a bit. It's because I want to be a safe driver, and I want, if I'm going to talk about this stuff on the air, I want to be honest about it. And it hasn't been easy, and I'm still over the limit sometimes. But I don't think anybody drives the speed limit. There's a little bit of a grace period there. Just be reasonable. I was being unreasonable. I drove way too fast for a long time, and I'm glad I didn't hurt anybody. I'm glad I didn't get hurt. But it's better to just pay attention, right?
Yeah.
And ADOT asking questions and saying, what can we do better?
My favorite one is arrive alive.
I hate those.
But it makes sense. I'm not in a rush. Whenever I go on trips like that, I'm like,
I'm
as
glad
long
you
as
brought
I get
that up,
there.
because ADOT is asking the public for input on the freeways. How many people do you think are going to respond, take those dumb jokes off the sign?
They make people think about it.
No, they don't.
You know it.
No, they don't. No.
They make people hate them, and then they remember them.
Click it or ticket.
See?
Yeah.
You know it. That's what it's meant for.
Okay.
It's doing its job.
It makes me want to take my seatbelt off.
No, leave it on, Michael Broomhead.
All right, after 11 o'clock, we are going to talk about the new pieces of legislation. But your economy, where exactly do you feel like you fit in this economy? Are you thriving? Are you behind the eight ball? Are you sinking? Or are you just kind of treading water? I don't think treading water is a good place to be, but many people say that's where they are. We're going to talk economy next.
Every month, Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos and your Valley Toyota dealers, we pay tribute to a teacher. Teachers unlock the doors to possibility. They transform lives with patience and a passion that knows no boundaries. So join us by texting the word teacher to 620-620. Nominate a deserving teacher for a $2,500 bonus. Pay tribute to a teacher is brought to you by your Valley Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Message and data rates may apply.
Living in the desert, SRP customers have some great questions, like, can I lower my electric bill? The answer is absolutely. A great place to start is making sure you're on a price plan that works best for you. We also have programs to help you use less energy and save money. Plus, as a not-for-profit, SRP already keeps rates as low as possible. SRP, delivering water, power, and answers since 1903. Find ways to save at srp.net.
Man, I love this place.
I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
KTAR-FM, Glendale, Phoenix.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Opinion, analysis, breaking news, traffic updates. You get all that and more on your phone when you download the KTAR News app. The KTAR News app is presented by America Roofing.
KTAR News now.
Good morning. It's 11 o'clock. I'm Patricia Valencia. New developments in the Iran conflict and tensions among the United States and one of its biggest allies.
President Trump reportedly called Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu yesterday in an effort to stop Israel's military operation against Hezbollah in Lebanon, a campaign that threatened to push Iran away from peace talks. According to Axios, Trump called Netanyahu crazy during the conversation and told the Prime Minister that without his support, he'd be in prison. Middle East expert Jason Brodsky tells ABC News the message it sends.
President Trump is firmly in the driver's seat here. This is the United States dictating its own policy, and I think it shows the president wants to see these negotiations with Iran continue and that he's committed to removing any kind of excuse that the Islamic Republic has.
Trump says Israel and Hezbollah have agreed to back off fighting and that talks with Iran are advancing rapidly. Colton Krolak, KTAR News.
And oil prices have spiked recently after a reported collapse in the ceasefire negotiations between the U.S. and Iran. But according to Tom Clausa, the chief energy advisor for Gulf Oil, we shouldn't be too worried.
They didn't rise that dramatically, really. They're up about $5 a barrel yesterday and maybe 10 cents a gallon on gasoline.
As it stands, the average price for regular unleaded gas in Arizona is approximately $4.68 per gallon. And a new lawsuit from the Arizona Attorney General's office accuses Multiplan of colluding with other health insurance companies to lowball payments to healthcare providers. AG Chris Mays alleges the health insurance companies shared confidential information and then used an algorithm to come up with the lowest possible price out of network providers would accept, often passing the difference on to patients to pay. KTAR has reached out to Multiplan for a response. And yesterday, Senator Mark Kelly helped introduce a bill aimed at countering President Trump's anti-weaponization fund.
The Drain the Slush Fund Act, if passed, will prevent the president or vice president from creating a fund as the result of a lawsuit. This is in response to Donald Trump's $1.8 billion fund aimed at compensating his political allies who say they've been wrongfully investigated or prosecuted. Kelly says the fund is a disgrace.
They created this crooked fund to reward criminals who assaulted cops. I'm the son of 2 police officers. I find this a disgrace.
Kelly says the fund has received bipartisan backlash and that Republicans should vote for the bill. From KTAR News, this is Skyler Love.
Item 1B. Please cast your vote.
Motion passes.
A 6-1 vote Monday approved Mesa's fiscal year budget for 2026 and 2027.
Councilmember Rich Adams did not support last year's budget vote, but says this year's budget moves the city closer to balancing Mesa's finances.
I'm not a fan of draconian cuts. There would be a lot of pain involved in that, and I don't think that's what the majority of Mesa residents want. I support this budget as a step in the right direction and as a sign, particularly a sign that progress is being made in the right direction.
Doreen Taylor was the one no vote, citing personal time away from council discussions made her uncertain of the budget as a whole, and she advocated for further transparency with residents. Brandon King, KTAR News.
The $2.8 billion budget includes $304 million towards Mesa Police, $146 million for water, and $31 million for city transit. And now for a check on traffic from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center. Watch for a crash and surprise on Grand Avenue near 163rd Avenue. In the East Valley, a crash clearing on the southbound loop 101 Price Freeway near Warner. All lanes are back open now. And another crash clearing on 75th Avenue south of Beardsley. This traffic update brought to you by Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. Join Stuart Willis for the Asset Preservation Hour each week as he empowers and educates those in or near retirement. Sundays at 2 p.m. right here on KTAR. And today's sunny skies, a high of 104. It only gets warmer from here, a high of 106 Wednesday and Thursday. 93 degrees right now at Sky Harbor Airport. Triple-digit heat, zero stress. Homes 2X will buy your home on demand with a 100% full value guarantee, and you can stay rent-free. Sell your home at homes2x.com. I'm Patricia Valencia on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Strong values, strong opinions. The Mike Broomhead Show. KTAR News 92.3 and the KTAR News app.
Here's some good news, I think, for the future of housing. You know, I always talk about the predictors, right? You know, we look at the oil prices, looking at kind of predicting what they think is going to be happening and the information they have, the intel that they have, because the predictions of the futures for oil have nothing to do with politics. I don't think this has anything to do with politics either, but do you think this is hopeful? This is showing that there's good hope in the housing market. The big fund, Berkshire Hathaway, has a brand new CEO, and he's making a lot of investments. But his name is Greg Abel. They are making a huge investment. They have purchased, are you familiar with Taylor Morrison Homes?
Yes, I've heard of them.
Yeah, so Taylor Morrison is a huge company. They've purchased Taylor Morrison for $6.8 billion.
Whoa.
So that tells me that they know something.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to make that kind of an investment in new homes if they don't believe that, and not just that, not Arizona, but nationwide, if we are not going to see a return to people buying homes. That we've watched a very stagnant housing market, and a lot of it had to do with we were spoiled. You know, you had a mortgage around 3%. 6% seems like a nightmare, you know?
Yeah.
When I bought my original house after I got divorced, I don't even remember this, but I bought the house and it was 6.1 or 6.2% was my mortgage. I didn't even think about it. You know, the housing market was starting to go crazy. Mm-hmm. People were buying like crazy. And so we were out looking at houses, and there was the first house I looked at, I was going to put a bid in on, and the real estate agent was going to put a bid, and the owner representative said, we are taking all the bids until Saturday, and then we're going to choose the best offer on Saturday, so give us your best offer. And I said, I'm not getting in a bidding war on a house. Right. So I found another one, but we didn't wait. Right away, we put a bid in on it. I didn't even think about that mortgage rate at 6.1 or 6.2%. Didn't even think about it. Then all of a sudden, mortgage rates plummeted, and I was able to refinance at like 3%. So if you've got a 3% mortgage, so when I bought, my big, great plan was to buy another house, rent one out, live in the other one, fix it up, flip that one. You know, I just had this great grand plan. The mortgage was 6%.
Yeah.
Didn't bother me. I thought I've done that before. It's not a big deal. But in the minds of people that are sitting on a 3% mortgage, or some even less, why are they going to go out and buy a home and jump to a 6% mortgage and sell the 3% mortgage?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
People aren't doing it. And so we're seeing this. It's not that it's dead. It's just stagnant. We're not seeing a huge housing market. It's taken longer for houses to sell, and we're seeing people dropping the price because there's a lot of competition out there. If you're a buyer, it's a buyer's market. Berkshire Hathaway has to know something.
Yeah, to spend that much?
Yeah. There's to buy a home building company is a part of what your investor's portfolio is. They have to believe that in the next couple of years that we are going to see people going back and buying homes. Not just buying homes, but these are new home builders, building homes. I hope they're right.
I was going to say, I hope something good is coming.
Because either they're counting on mortgage rates dropping pretty dramatically, or they're expecting that inflation is going to drop, which means your wages are going to outpace inflation, maybe a combination of the two. What is the economic outlook that they're looking at? Because according to this, the story, I got the story from the Wall Street Journal, by the way. This is the other part of it. Can you imagine this? The deal is an all-cash deal. Just going to write a check for $6.8 billion. Yeah.
What a flex.
So Berkshire's home builder deal is a sign that a prominent investor thinks the housing slump will eventually pass. It wants to be positioned to take advantage of any market turn. More than 75% of young renters still think that someday they will own a home, according to a survey. So Berkshire's chief executive, Greg Abel, said, this investment is grounded in long-term belief in the strength of America's housing market and its underlying fundamentals, which we see as enduring over time. Question is, of course, how much time?
How much time?
But it's better than if somebody was dumping it, you know?
I know what's going to happen.
Yep. And so the question, it's still here. It says high mortgage rates, job market uncertainty, and rising cost of living have kept many prospective buyers on the sidelines. Builders have been forced to offer incentives such as paying part of the buyer's mortgage cost just to unload some of the existing inventory.
I remember when my parents were house shopping, like back in the day, like it was like 3.2%.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing that when it comes to this thing is refinancing, you know, and you refinance when mortgage rates got better. Well, that market has kind of dried up because the mortgage rates have hovered around 6% or maybe a little bit more. But it's got to, they're counting on it. This is what gives me hope, is that they're looking at this and saying, we believe that this is going to turn. I would say probably sooner rather than later, because you're investing $6.8 billion in an existing company in a market that's not good right now. But this is why they are worth billions and billions of dollars, because when we catch on, they're
way ahead of us. 10 steps ahead.
And that's why we invest our money with them, because they know where the money is coming. So hopefully they're right. Hopefully that this is something that's going to turn around sooner rather than later, because as we just talked about with higher prices, what's considered middle America is saying in large numbers, I'm just kind of hanging out. We're not thriving, but we're not in a crisis. We're hopeful.
Just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, just kind of hopeful.
Just waiting to see what happens.
Just hopeful.
Yeah.
But again, I think that those are also the same people that would be not making major purchases, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That they are going to. Right. If we could afford to upgrade our automobile, we could get a new car. But what if something bad happens? Now we're in trouble.
Yeah. That extra price can kill you. Just that little bit of, there's no wiggle room at all.
And I know we kind of talked about this at length earlier, being in a place financially where if an opportunity, for you, an opportunity to go out of town for the weekend, to be able to say, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
That's what makes life worth working for.
That's why I feel like I'm kind of thriving, though, I guess, because I can do those things and be okay.
But you appreciate them.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people take them for granted, and they shouldn't, especially young people starting out. If you, and I don't know when I was growing up, we didn't have much.
Same.
But I had friends that were kind of, they weren't coddled, but their parents were able to provide pretty nice things for them. Then when they decided it's time to be on their own, I'm watching my niece. My oldest niece just got married. And her and her husband were able to get a place out in a town way far away, but they were able to get a little piece of land, and they put a manufactured home on the property. They're struggling. Financially, they're strapped. And that's what happens when you start out. If you grow up in an environment where you live fairly comfortably, It's weird to be uncomfortable.
Oh, gosh, yes.
You know, if you're used to being able to have stuff and then you can't have that stuff right now, that's part of growing up, isn't it?
It is definitely part of growing up. And it's hard to teach that to your kids when you're doing okay. Be like, this is not always.
Right.
It's not all how it's always going to be.
Yeah.
My favorite example is when we took Katie to a baseball game with like her team and stuff. She's like, why are we sitting way up here? I'm like, girl, you don't even know. We're not always sitting behind home plate.
But, you know, there's part of that that's got to make you feel good that, you know.
It does, but at the same time, I'm like, it's not always going to be like that. This is, you know, this is good, too.
Yeah, I remember being so angry as a little kid when my parents told me no.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm like, you know, I just want ice cream or I just want. And then when you get older and you realize, and then you want to go back and apologize. You know, I bet you I've apologized to my mother 100 times.
You didn't have $5,
right?
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only $5. Well, $5 at that time was a lot of money.
It's like $20.
And praying that there's not a crisis. So for the families out there that say they're maintaining, I'll bet you many of them, if asked, would say we're happy that we're here and not in a crisis. If you've ever been in a financial crisis, especially if you've got kids, it's awful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you feel like you're underwater financially or these big crises happening, it's a bad place to be. And hopefully that's why, you know, for me, I just want America to succeed. I have my political leanings. I'm going to fight for what I believe in politically. But in the end, I don't want to see governments fail because when governments fail, people fail. When I see a small business go out of business, I remember how gut-wrenching it was for me when I realized I'm done.
Heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking. So I hope for success for everyone. What we'll do in a moment is we get you caught up on the biggest news stories of the day. We call it Did You Hear This? We'll do it here in just a minute. Let's talk Bulldog security screens and real home protection. I always say insist on the Bulldog or look for the Bulldog. And the reason why is Bulldog security screens, first of all, are produced right here in Arizona, fully constructed here in the state of Arizona, supporting our economy. I've been down to their showroom. I've been down to their manufacturing plant. I've actually been in their testing lab and seen how effective this product is. They come with a no break-in guarantee. That's important. They look amazing on the exterior of your home. They're built with pride, custom measured, custom installation, so they look amazing. They don't obstruct your views. But the protection part of it, the fact that they protect like a fortress, making sure no one can break in. You're probably not home now. The peace of mind knowing that your home is safe and secure. Summer vacations, going out of town, whatever it is, know your home is secure. In addition to that, how about knowing that the people you love are protected as well? BulldogSecurityScreens.com. That's BulldogSecurityScreens.com. Insist on the Bulldog because Bulldog Security Screens, they're tough.
KTAR has your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to see the Arizona Diamondbacks host the Washington Nationals Saturday, June 6th on Corbin Carroll Mystery Bobblehead Night. Text Bobble to 620-620 or visit the KTAR contest page to enter. Text Bobble to 620-620. Message and data rates may apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
KTAR News Flash.
At 11:16, I'm Patricia Valencia. This is what you need to know right now. Gas prices have fallen about 15 cents over the last week, but that may not last for long. Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy says gas is getting cheaper as a deal with Iran seemed more likely, but that has changed. DeHaan says $5 a gallon would be on the table for Phoenix Metro in the coming weeks. Right now, a gallon will cost you about $4.65 in the Valley, according to AAA. And new information about the health screenings at airports ahead of the World Cup getting underway next week. The games are expected to draw up to 7 million visitors to the U.S., raising concerns about the possible spread of Ebola from Africa. Confirmed cases in the Congo have jumped to more than 20% in a single day. Americans returning from the DRC, Uganda, and South Sudan must now re-enter the U.S. through 4 designated airports for mandatory screenings. All of our top stories are just 15 minutes away. For more news, go to KTAR.com or the KTAR News app. Taking a look at Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 173 points, the S&P 500 is up 5, and the NASDAQ is down 13 points. For more money news, visit the Business Center at KTAR.com.
Hey, it's Bruce and Gatos, and we're outspoken against hunger. Every dollar donated provides enough food for 5 meals. Here's our goal. You ready? We want to provide 500,000 meals for Arizonans. St. Mary's Food Bank provides millions of pounds of food to a network of more than 600 partner agencies all across Arizona. It's the march to 500,000 meals. And you can join by texting FOOD to 620-620. That's FOOD to 620-620 and make your donation now. Outspoken against hunger with Bruce and Gatos, benefiting St. Mary's Food Bank. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dave Ramsey here from my friends at Window World. With the Arizona weather heating up, it's good to know that Window World windows are specifically made for the harsh Arizona climate. Right now, you can lock in 7 large premium vinyl sliding windows, all with energy-efficient solar zone sun shield glass, tax included, for one all-in upfront price of only $5,989. And that price includes Window World's noise reduction upgrade. Plus, you can save an additional $100 off any new patio or entry door. Best of all, their certified installers can complete most projects in just one day. See for yourself why nearly half of all new Window World customers come from happy referrals. So don't wait for summer. Schedule your free in-home estimate today at windowworldphoenix.com. Window World, simply the best for definitely less.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mike Broomhead, KTAR News 92.3 and the KTAR News app.
All right, Patricia gets us caught up on the big headlines. We call it, Did You Hear This?
Did you hear this? Broomhead reacts to today's hottest news stories.
All right, so the very first one, President Trump says talks with Iran are now resuming at a rapid pace following a contentious call yesterday with Prime Minister Netanyahu. Sources say Trump accused Netanyahu of being ungrateful, called him crazy, asking Netanyahu, what the expletive are you doing? And after this, as Israel escalated its bombing campaign against Hezbollah in Lebanon, what were your thoughts when you heard all of this? And are you surprised at Trump's reaction? What's next?
I am a little surprised, but I do think that they have been working in a coordinated effort. We know that Israel and the U.S. worked on the initial attacks and how that happened, how they divvied up the responsibilities of who was doing what. We also helped them protect from the air. We know that we have troops in Israel. So it is a little surprising that it got to this, that either the president wasn't aware of the extent of what they were doing or it wasn't discussed ahead of time. I think that's the most surprising part of this. And now the fact that Israel is going to back away from this, at least for the time being, with these discussions, I'm anxious to see if the conversations really are back on and happening and what the Iranians are going to say. Is this a delay tactic or is this going to be a legitimate attempt at peace?
They're going to pump gas at the gas station, on their way to drop their kid off at school, and be pissed about how expensive it is.
That's Meghan McCain, daughter of former Senator John McCain and host of the Citizen McCain podcast. She tells Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos the failed ceasefire talks in Iran are going to have a big impact in the upcoming elections.
I can't believe this is what gas costs right now. And I'm, employed. My husband's employed. We're very blessed. I'm not comparing it. But average Americans are going to vote on that coming up in the midterms.
So what do you think about the conflict in Iran, and how is it going to do in the midterms?
Yeah, it's going to have a huge effect on the midterms, and it has nothing really to, well, it's the byproduct of what's going on in Iran. If the gas prices weren't going up, it'd be a different feeling about things. But Americans are war weary, and they are so stressed after what happened with COVID and the bouncing around of inflation and skyrocketing and coming down. They're just tired. They want prices to be lower. They want to be able to go to the grocery store. So yes, I think this is going to have a major implications in the upcoming midterm elections. I think the Republicans are braced for, as much as they're putting on a happy face, that they are going to lose the House. They're praying to hold on to the Senate. But there's going to be big implications if this isn't ending sooner rather than later. And I think that's part of what the Iranians are counting on, is if they can get to the midterms, that things would be dramatically different. You are listening to Did You Hear This? Every day at this time to catch you up on the headlines.
And remember last year when President Trump introduced Trump Mobile? Well, those phones still haven't been officially released, but a few technology reporters got their hands on some, and the reviews are out. Mashable tech editor Tim Worth joined Arizona's Morning News with more.
It was a okay phone about 2 years ago, let's say. So essentially, it appears to be an HTC phone from about 2024 that's essentially had Trump branding slapped on top of it.
So my question about this is, what do you think about anything sold with the sitting president as branding on it? Do you think it'll last?
Yeah, I have campaign buttons, and I have things that were sold and merch that was sold for other presidents. I don't have an issue with any of this. I just think that we've gotten so petty with our criticism. At some point, you have to turn around and say, it's ridiculous. I don't like it. But everything's got to be a crisis. I'm tired of that kind of the argument. There are going to be people that love this president and will love this president. I still know people that were old enough to vote during the Nixon era, and they'd vote for Nixon again if he was able to run. Yeah, I'm not a crook. So people are people. Leave them alone. Quit with all this criticism all the time.
And finally, President Trump says he'll abide by a court ruling that has temporarily blocked his anti-weaponization fund created for a settlement with the IRS. ABC's Catherine Falders has a little more.
It was striking to see after DOJ issued that statement that senators on Capitol Hill and Trump's top allies, they weren't convinced. They said, wait a second, the president nor the White House is saying that they're going to drop this altogether. They're just saying that they're going to abide by a court order which only pauses this weaponization fund, the creation and payments out of it, only pauses it for a 2-week period until the judge could consider legal arguments which are scheduled to take place mid-month.
So do you think that the president will end up just getting rid of this altogether? And if so, how could the IRS make up for what they did to President Trump?
Yeah, I don't disagree with what I disagree with what the IRS did. I don't disagree with the president's anger at what the IRS did to him. I don't disagree with that at all. But the idea of setting up a fund, and it was interesting, I heard Senator Kelly talk about this ridiculous indignation. I don't think this fund should happen. I think we shouldn't be paying people that broke the law. Even if they were treated unfairly, they should have their individual day in court to talk about how they were treated unfairly, and they should be handled. If somebody was treated unfairly, it should be fixed. I believe that to be true. But setting up this fund, I'm not a big fan of it. But just like I wasn't a big fan of our former vice president and other leaders on the other side of the aisle raising money for the bail for people during the Black Lives Matter and anti-police rallies, both were bad. Why don't we get out of these things, stop with the extremist attitudes about things. Let's start doing what the government is supposed to do, and this ridiculous fighting and calling the other side evil. I'm getting tired of it, and I imagine other people are getting tired of it too.
Stop fighting. Get it together, people.
Okay, so again, I think that we act like children. As old as we get, anybody out there driving in your parents' car, let me tell you something. Your parents don't know what they're doing either. And they're, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
We still think like we're kids sometimes.
Oh, definitely, all the time.
And so when a parent gets frustrated because kids are fighting and you don't care who's right and who's wrong and who started it, you just knock it off. And we're at a point where I think America is getting ready to say, just knock it off. That when you have Senator Kelly outraged at this fund and everything. That's great. Okay. How outraged were you when people on your side of the aisle were raising money for people rioting in the streets? We all should say knock that off. We should all collectively be imploring people to knock it off. All right, here's what's coming up. We're going to talk about the Middle East and what we know and what we see happening in the future. And then what we're also going to do is end the show with our story roundup. All of it's coming up. Stick around.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Morgan & Morgan isn't just an injury firm. It's our family's life work. It's my husband, it's my sons, it's me. When we take a case, we see a family just like ours. $30 billion recovered is something I'm proud of. But what I'm really proud of are the families we stood beside. It's an honor to fight for you when you need our support the most. Morgan & Morgan, for the people and your family.
Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Arizona lawyer will handle Arizona cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
The first thing I would say is stop painting and get Rhino Shield because you're never going to have to paint again, and I truly believe that.
Well, if you like spring in Phoenix and you hate to paint, do what Scott did. He called Rhino Shield.
This house is a stucco home. We have painted this house 3 times. Stucco continued to crack, the caulking peeled.
That's because Rhino Shield's not paint. It's better.
I told my wife that I want to see what it's going to cost to do it because if we don't have to paint again, we're saving money.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. It's formulated for our specific climate right here in Phoenix.
The Rhino Shield guys, they were careful with everything. When they were done, there was no damage to anything. It was something that I was very impressed with.
Come on, Phoenix, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
And I think the transferable warranty for 25 years is a very attractive thing, especially for a prospective buyer in the future.
Here's owner Jim Williams.
This offer is limited, so call me at 855-4U-RHINO. That's 855-4, the letter U, Rhino.
Go Rhino!
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
At QC Kinetics, we're all about keeping you in the game, helping you get lasting relief from joint pain. That's why we're excited to announce that QC Kinetics is now partnering with the National Pickleball League. So many of our satisfied patients are avid pickleball players, and they're thrilled with how we've helped them get back on the court. As lead sponsor of the National Pickleball League, we're committed to help pickleball fans of all ages with the latest, most advanced regenerative cell treatments. These treatments use your body's own healing power, revitalizing and restoring damaged joint tissue the natural way, with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Whether you're a pickleball fanatic or enjoy golf or running or tennis, stay in the game with help from QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, proud to promote active, pain-free living as a lead sponsor of the National Pickleball League. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 602-837-7246. In Phoenix, Scottsdale, Peoria, and Chandler. That's 837-7246. 837-7246.
LaDonna Harvey here. It is home selling season, and you know that the biggest mistake you could make while selling your home is settling for less money. The good news is you have an Orchard backing you up. That's not going to happen. Lowball offers can really wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less because you are just too tired of this nonsense. Well, that does not happen. You don't have to settle with an Orchard agent. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale. Their local agents right here in the Valley can help you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front to buy and move into your new home. First, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. And then once you're settled in, your Orchard agent is going to help sell your home on the market for top dollar. With Orchard, you don't have to settle, and you certainly don't have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much you could get for your home? Visit Orchard.com and get a free home valuation. Orchard.com.
Speed and power. Get your Corbin Carroll 30-30 Mystery Bobble on Saturday, June 6th, courtesy of Chase. Visit dbacks.com for tickets.
KTAR News now.
Good morning. It's 11:31. I'm Patricia Valencia. The Mojave County Department of Public Health has released a statement confirming the death of a Mojave County resident caused by hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. According to the release, the source of the exposure could not be determined. However, local transmission cannot be ruled out. This strain of the hantavirus, known as the Sin Nombre virus, does not spread person to person and is historically associated with cases in Arizona and the Southwest. It's carried primarily by deer mice.
We are a state of property owners.
A Republican-sponsored bill that helps homeowners get their property back from squatters has been signed into law.
The new law outlines if certain conditions are met, authorities will be able to act faster when squatters are found in a home. State Senator Wendy Rogers said this week,
Arizona is sending a clear message. Unlawful occupation of someone else's property will not be tolerated.
And she added,
it'd be a matter of a couple days maybe, rather than weeks of trying to define whether or not the person was lawfully there.
It also directs courts to ensure property is returned to owners as soon as a judgment is made in cases against squatters. Ballin Overstoles, KTAR News.
KTAR Eyes on the Economy. Move over, cattle, and the rest of the Arizona 5 Cs. Computers are now Arizona's biggest international export, according to tech publisher Visual Capitalist. Danny Seiden, president and CEO of the Arizona Chamber of Commerce, tells Arizona's Morning News it's been a long time coming.
We really made a lot of inroads into attracting high-tech manufacturing, recognizing this was already in Arizona's DNA.
Arizona exported nearly $9 billion worth of computer equipment internationally last year, according to the report. The Arizona Department of Transportation is looking for your feedback as the department plans for more freeway renovations.
From now until June 30th, an online survey, as well as options for emails, calls, or physical mail, is giving Arizonans the chance to say what they would change about several freeways. It includes the mini stack where the 10, 51, and 202 meet, and the portion of State Route 51 south of Thomas Road. ADOT says the plan is to develop alternative design concepts, including lane configurations and freeway ramp connections. ADOT plans on holding a public meeting at some point in the fall to discuss the alternatives that they get from the public. Brandon King, KTAR News.
You can find that ADOT survey and more details at KTAR.com. Now let's head to the roads and check on traffic from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center. Look for south of downtown past the split on the northbound side of the I-17 past 16th Street. Look for a crash. Also a crash past the mini stack on the westbound side of the I-10 near 16th Street. And in Surprise, a crash clearing on Grand Avenue near 163rd Avenue. Drive safe on those Valley roads. And sunny conditions for today, a high of 104 degrees. It's 95 already in Peoria. Triple-digit heat, zero stress. Homes2X will buy your home on demand with a 100% full value guarantee, and you can stay rent-free. Sell your home at homes2x.com. I'm Patricia Valencia on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
The Mike Broomhead Show, KTAR News 92.3, and the KTAR News app.
All right, Patricia, what will give you confidence that we are on the right track with what's happening in the Middle East?
I don't know, this whole negotiations, them not wanting to talk and back and forth and all these, it's just getting more convoluted.
The reason why I ask is I think sometimes maybe I'm too close to it. Like I'm in it all the time. Mm-hmm. But to the person that looks at this and says, this is a big situation, what is it we want to hear? But now here's what I've been thinking about. We decimated, when I say we, us and the Israelis, we decimated their leadership, took out almost all of their chain of command, more than once. Do we know that the people that we are dealing with, and I imagine we do, I imagine the CIA and there's intelligence gatherers out there, that the people that we're dealing with are the real people in charge, meaning that what if we cut a deal? What if there's an announcement this afternoon that the Iranian supreme leader comes
wherever
out
and
wherever he is, whatever bunker he's hiding in, says we have a framework of a deal. We agree with the Americans that we're going to pause this for 60 days, but we are ready to hammer out an agreement that on the big points, we're in agreement on these things.
I don't think I'll believe it until he does come out.
Okay, but how sure are we that the Iranian people aren't going to say, who made you boss?
Right. Who died and made you leader?
Right,
well,
exactly.
Actually.
Yeah, but they died, but that doesn't mean you're in charge. That's the concern for me, is that the infighting within Iran, that there are going to be, we have the same thing in our country, but we have a structured leadership. And we also have a line of secession if, God forbid, something were to happen to our leaders. But we know this happens in America, where we have people there are many Americans that believe, drop the bombs, make that whole country a sheet of glass, we'll just start over. And there are other people that think we should have never gone there in the first place. We should get out right now. We should leave them alone. And so there's the extreme opinions. So if we didn't have if we didn't have a leader like we do, that stands up and says, I want to do this. Look at the Congress is going to fight about war powers. We have a structure that we abide by as Americans. Do they still have that structure in place? I don't know the answer to that. That if the Iranian people and others, the people that head up the Republican Guard, their military, the people that got to enforce those rules or abide by them. What if those leaders say, what if someone stands up and says, I don't know who you think you are, but that's a horrible deal, and we don't want anything to do with it?
Now, with you being so close to it, what is it going to take for you to know that it's coming close to an end?
I think what we're going to have is we're going to have an agreement where both sides say, yes, we do agree. And then we're going to have to see the Iranians say that, okay, there's going to be no more attacks in the Strait. We're going to allow the minesweepers to come in. And I also think that there's going to have to be real enforcement where they're going to have to allow, whether it ends up being NATO or the UN or whoever it is, inspectors to go in that show that they are keeping the agreement. That's the only way, if there is a structure in that way. But I don't know when it comes out, because I think eventually they're going to have an agreement. They've got to agree. They can't financially.
Like this forever.
Yeah, they can't. Financially, they can't stand it. There's no way they can withstand this long term financially. Militarily, they're done for. There's nothing they can do about that. So eventually, they've got to make an agreement. But will they abide by it? And what happens if they elect new leadership? The president just resigned. What if they elect new leadership that says, and it's happened, we did it. We had President Obama entered into an agreement with the Iranians that I believe we're violating the agreement. So President Trump, when he came into office, said, we're done with that agreement. You're not keeping the agreement to begin with. It's a horrible deal for the Americans. The deal is off. What's to say Iran doesn't do the same thing?
At any time.
At any time. And they've done it in the past. They've made agreements with us in the past.
I don't think we're ever going to be able to fully trust them.
Well, unless there's a regime change. And that's going to take more than what we did with bombs. That's going to take the Iranian people chasing the Ayatollahs out, just like the Ayatollahs chased the Shah out back in the 70s.
It's going to take them to do it.
Right. And we shouldn't have, that's one area where I want no part of it. Let me give this qualification. We know the CIA is involved. I got no problem with that because other nations are involved in, we know about the Russian collusion and they're trying to influence. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying I don't want troops on the ground pushing the Ayatollahs out of there. The Iranian people need to rise up and take over their country. If they do that and they have a freely elected government, that's going to be a lot more trustworthy. They're going to be a lot more likely to enter into agreements that are kept. But for everybody out there that says the Obama agreement was working, I respectfully absolutely disagree with you, because what was happening is do you really think the Iranians were trying to go to space?
I don't think that they had any interest in space.
They had a ballistic missile program.
They have other things that they have on their mind.
Yeah, like ballistic missiles that can reach Israel and reach the U.S.
Like taking over the world.
Right.
Yeah, no, they have no intentions of going to space.
The apocalyptic worldview of the Ayatollahs, and one that believes it is their religious duty to wipe out the Jews. It is their religious duty to wipe out anybody that agrees with the Jews. That would be us, the infidel, the people that are on. That is their goal. That is their life's goal. It's a part of their constitution. It's not just a chant, death to America chant. They mean it, and we should believe it when they say it. So now we've taken away their capabilities. I believe that to be true. We've taken away their capabilities of doing major damage around the world. But what do we do to open the strait? Do we have to open it by force? Does the world have the willpower to do that? Because if we make a deal that allows them to charge tolls or fees to cross the Strait of Hormuz, we are going to see this happen all over the world. We are opening the floodgates, and we just can't do that. We just can't. So to what end? And those are my concerns. I don't think that we're going to lose in this. I just don't want to see us there for an extended period of time. And if they believe the will of the American people is weak, they'll wait it out. Those Ayatollahs will live as good as they can inside a bunker somewhere, and the people will suffer, and they'll wait until the midterms. They'll wait until whatever political changes happen in America where they believe the will of the American people is weak enough that it won't happen. And if the American people want us out, if that's what the will of the people are, then I'm an American. I don't believe it's the right thing to do, but that's what happens. Elections have consequences. We have this president. We have this president that believes in what he's doing. I think he's got a great right-hand man in Marco Rubio. I think we've got the best military on the planet, and I think we should ensure for future generations that the Iranians can never have a nuclear weapon. I believe all of that to be true. But I'm one voice and one vote in America. And what the American people decide they want through the people that we elect will dictate the next steps. And I'm anxious to see what those next steps are going to be. All right, we end our show each day with something we call the Story Roundup. I get to pick some of the craziest, oddest, weird stories that I've witnessed, and we'll talk about them. We'll do it next.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hey, it's Austin with Moxie Pest Control. I remember one Sunday at church, our pastor stood up and said, "Services are canceled. A neighbor's fence was knocked down, their home was robbed, and they need our help." So right then, we walked out and rebuilt that fence together. That taught me something. When a home doesn't feel safe, nothing feels right. At Moxie, we don't just control pests, we help families feel secure.
Make the move to Moxie. Call Moxie Pest Control.
KTAR News Flash.
At 11:44, I'm Patricia Valencia. This is what you need to know right now. President Trump now says the U.S. will have a deal with Iran, quote, over the next week, following his call with Prime Minister Netanyahu yesterday. Sources describing the call as tense, with President Trump fuming and accusing Netanyahu of being ungrateful. The president then writing on social media that Israel and Hezbollah agreed to scale back the fighting, saying the talks are continuing at a rapid pace. The Mojave County Department of Public Health has released a statement confirming the death of Mojave County resident caused by hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. This strain of the virus, known as the sin nombre virus, does not spread person to person and is historically associated with cases in Arizona and the Southwest. It's carried primarily by deer mice. All of our top stories are just 15 minutes away. For more news, go to KTAR.com or the KTAR News app.
Arizona's Morning News, the Valley's only all-news morning show.
Campfire and smoking restrictions are hitting Maricopa, Pinal, and Gila counties. Stage 1 fire restrictions will go into effect on state-owned or managed lands in all 3 counties.
Start smart with Arizona's Morning News. Weekday mornings 5 till 8. Watch on the KTAR YouTube channel and listen on air, online, and on the KTAR News app.
Hey, basketball fans, Tom Chambers here reminding you that just like in a game, you need a solid defense for your home. And that starts with a reliable roof from Right Way Roofing. Hey, Lori, as owner of Right Way Roofing, what sets you apart from the competition?
Our team tackles any roofing challenge, from shingles to tile to foam roofing. We'll make sure your roof wins against the toughest opponents: rain, wind, and even those scorching summer days.
Make Right Way Roofing your MVP.
We're Right Way Roofing and we do it right. We'll always keep you watertight.
It's Gatos, and I'm sitting next to my great friend, Dr. Joe from Aria Dental Implant Center. Hey, Dr. Joe, it's great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
So when you get a patient who's got broken or missing teeth, they sit down and they say, Dr. Joe, help me. Help me. I want to be able to chew foods again. I want to be in pictures and smile again. You're going to help them.
I love what I do. We've been doing it for a long time. People don't come in for implants, Gatos. They don't. They come in for their teeth.
Yeah, they want teeth.
They want teeth.
Yeah.
They want to be able to eat. They want to be able to speak. They want to be able to take photos, take selfies.
There's a patient that's on the fence about getting dental implant treatment. What do you tell them right now?
Don't be afraid to call. Don't be afraid to come in. It's truly for us to get to know each other, for me to see if I can help you, to be able to share my knowledge with you so I can put you at ease and make it a comfortable experience for you.
Go see my friend Dr. Joe. You got broken or missing teeth, he is going to help you. AriaDentalImplantCenter.com. It's spelled A-R-I-A, AriaDentalImplantCenter.com.
He's your Huckleberry. He's Mike Broomhead. And this is another story roundup.
Yes, it is.
What do we got today, partner?
The subject here is a very serious subject, but it's all in how you write a headline. Am I wrong?
No. What do you got?
Okay,
Let's
this is from the Arizona Republic. And the way I read this can be read two ways. I just don't think they wrote the headline the right way.
Okay.
All right?
Can't wait.
So the first part of the headline says, this shot could prevent HIV. It's great.
Okay.
Here's how you get it in Arizona.
Wait. The shot or HIV?
Right. I'm sure they mean the shot. But when you read the headline, this shot could prevent HIV. Here's how you get it in Arizona.
I think we know, but I would rather know where to get the shot.
Right.
That is a funny
I
headline.
wonder if they did that on purpose.
I don't think people think about these things sometimes until they look at it from an outsider's view, because they know what they're talking about, but it just looks funny.
Because again, it's a very serious, especially if you're my age. I remember when the HIV, when the AIDS epidemic was a death sentence. And I remember, Freddie Mercury and when people I actually know, I think 3 people that I knew very well that died of AIDS. So it's not, I'm not joking about
Magic Johnson, I'm like, oh my God, it's a miracle.
Well, and how, right. Well, now it's treatable and, but that's a great thing. It's come a long way from the 80s when this was a big deal.
When it was just like, you're dead.
But,
yeah. I think they just need a second set of eyes on their headlines sometimes.
It's, this shot can prevent HIV. Where to get the shot in Arizona is...
Just one more word.
Yeah. This shot can prevent HIV. Here's how you get it in Arizona.
Thanks, Johnny.
Same way you get it everywhere else.
Oh, Lord.
Okay?
Okay.
Here's another one. We've talked about this. You said you're never getting in a Waymo.
No, I've never gotten in one, and I don't think I want to. I don't feel comfortable with those little fans rolling around and everything going on. Just get me to my place, please.
So this happened, I believe this happened in Northern California. Yeah, in San Francisco. There was a couple riding in a Waymo in San Francisco, and there was a lot of construction. They said there were construction signs.
That'll get them.
There were lights going, and then there was a police car coming in the distance. So the Waymo sped up and ran.
What?
The Waymo took off.
Is it known to take off and run from police?
I don't know.
I've never heard of that before.
So the person, the Elliot Slade said there was construction signs. This is it. He said, we're dead.
Yeah,
we're going to die right here in a Waymo. So eventually it pulled over. And the voice, I've never been in a Waymo either.
Car.
But, there's somebody, right, there's somebody there's a voice acting, there's somewhere.
In the car to help you.
So the customer service person came on. This is my favorite part of this dumb story because this is how people respond, as ridiculous as it is. The person comes on and checks, are you okay? And they want to know, do you want to continue the ride? No, we want out right now.
The police won't let us.
You know what they offered them?
A free ride.
$40 in ride credits.
Oh, no. I don't want anything to do with Waymo anymore. That's hilarious.
$40 in ride credits.
Thanks, but no thanks.
So it's interesting because there's no competition, which is okay. And I'm not against Waymo. It's just not my... These things still concern me.
Yeah, I wouldn't get in one. Still, I know. The other day I told you I went to cross the street and one was there waiting for me to cross the street. It was like a standoff.
Right.
We're just staring at each other.
I'm
like,
didn't want to step in front of it.
Are you going to run over me or not?
Yeah, because you didn't want to step in front of it.
It was scary.
Yeah.
I just went really fast.
I watched one in a roundabout just driving circles.
Oh my God. Yeah, see, those are a no thanks for me.
It's funny when you're not the one in the car.
When you're not the one in the car. Like that guy that got stuck at Sky Harbor.
Yeah.
He went around and around.
So I thought this was interesting. Maybe I'm the only one. It's a story. They used AI to do this, but I think it probably is fairly reliable. This also from the Republic, their staff reports. 15 major Metro Phoenix streets and how they got their name.
Interesting. Let's hear it. I want to hear it.
Alma School Road was named after a schoolhouse from the late 1800s. It was Mormon settlers primarily named the school after Alma, a prophet from the Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints.
Nice.
So Alma School is got a religious meaning.
Okay.
Baseline Road because of that's the Gila and Salt River Meridian line. I knew this.
You mean Vaseline?
Yeah, Vaseline Road. Bell Road was named after Harvey Bell, who was a farmer who helped organize the Paradise Verde Irrigation District in 1916. Bethany Home, this is a little weird. Bethany Home Road was named after Bethany Home, which was a tuberculosis sanitarium.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Was it here?
Yeah, apparently.
Tuberculosis.
Yeah. Broadway Road was named for Noah Broadway, a Maricopa County sheriff from 1885 to 86. He owned a farm between 7th and 23rd Avenue on the south side of what is now Broadway Road.
I just thought it was just because Broadway.
Cactus was named after the little town of Cactus, which is located northeast of Sunny Slope, or a little part of town. Camelback from Camelback Mountain, that makes sense. Central makes, well, that one's boring. Cooper, Jim Cooper and his wife Mildred Post Cooper turned one cow received as a wedding present into a 400-cow dairy farm, and so that's where Cooper Road in the East Valley got its name.
Good for them. They deserve the road.
Yeah. Crisman Road, part of the historic Mesa Party, a group of Mormon families who moved from Idaho to Utah in 1800s. So just, I thought some of these are fairly interesting. Don't you think?
I think so, too. I never knew that about Bethany Home. That one's the most interesting, I think. Tuberculosis Center.
Have you ever said, I shouldn't drive, I need to take a nap, I've had too much to drink, I'm not going to drive?
I've been too sleepy, yes.
Right,
but I'm not a huge drinker.
Okay.
I'm not, no. But yeah, I've been too sleepy where I'm like, I'm not going anywhere.
This actually happened to a family member of mine when I was a kid. It was funny because nobody got hurt. But Memorial Day weekend, the Arizona Department of Public Safety was on patrol at around 4:45 a.m. on May 25th. DPS received multiple calls about a stalled vehicle in the middle of the eastbound lanes of the I-10 between 32nd and 40th Street. So they got on scene. The guy was just drunk and wanted to sleep it off. So he parked his car in the middle of the 10 and took a nap.
Because that's a good idea.
And took a nap.
Gosh, he's lucky he didn't hurt anybody, but that's not good.
When I was a kid, if I remember the story right, when I was a kid, my mother's oldest brother was a really heavy drinker. And he borrowed my mother's car and did this, but not in a freeway. He did it on a road and just parked in the middle of the road.
Jeez. Oh my God.
But back then, it was so much different. Back then in the 70s, they took him to jail and just let him sleep it off and let him go the next day.
And you know, I'm always nervous whenever I pull off somewhere. I always try to go to a convenience store somewhere. Yeah. I try to rest, just for a little bit, close my eyes. I'm like, I hope they don't think that I'm impaired,
right.
I'm just tired.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I saved the best for last.
What do you got?
So a group of teenage campers, Memorial Day weekend, were in Idaho, Parma, Idaho. They took a 2-hour or so trip to Payette National Forest, I hope I pronounced that right, in McCall, Idaho, to go camping for Memorial Day weekend. While they were there, they said they were stalked by a family of Sasquatches.
What?
Or Sasquatch. Yeah.
A whole family, not just
a whole
one.
Group. The witnesses submitted their claim to the Bigfoot Field Research Organization, better known as the BRFO, or BFRO. All of them have a consistent story. They didn't want to freak anybody out. She didn't know what it was at the time, but at the weekend was only going to produce more encounters with suspected Sasquatches.
Somebody played a prank on them. Maybe it was Bigfoot.
Maybe it was Bigfoot. Maybe Bigfoot has a sense of humor.
Guess go squatching.
Do you believe in any of that?
Watching. I don't know.
I got asked. I told you I got invited to go squatching up in Payson, and I didn't go.
Well, after being in Pine Top, we watched Fire in the Sky.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's some stuff out there.
The people that believe,
I gotta go see
man.
this story now, though.
And I watch the shows. There's an old show called Finding Bigfoot. I loved it just because they never find him, but they're gonna next week.
There's always going to be a new season.
Yep. We heard some tree knocks and somebody threw rocks at us in the woods, and we heard a bunch of whooping and screaming. Next week, we're going to be in Payson, Arizona. We're going to find him, be here. I just love those shows. All right, we're out of time. We're back tomorrow morning starting at 8:15. We're going to talk to the Goldwater Institute. God bless.
Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this spring, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through June 13th and save up to $150 on all your custom prints. Staples, that was easy.
GLP, start for free at Red Mountain Weight Loss. For a limited time, they've waived the startup fee on all programs. Just mention Gatos. Get GLP-1 medications for as low as $149 per month. With Red Mountain, you'll get lower prices than the big telehealth companies with no hidden fees, a specialized diet plan, and expert care from real doctors. So why pay more for less? Get the care you deserve at a price you can afford. Book your video appointment today. They'll ship medication directly to your door. Get started for free at redmountainweightloss.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hi, I'm Sherry Harris, owner of LifeSource Water. Arizona's desert water is some of the harshest in the country. It's tough on your skin, your hair, and your home. Some people turn to old-fashioned softeners, but there's a better way. With LifeSource, you get clean, conditioned, and healthy water from every tap. No salt, no regular maintenance, and no plastic. Just fresh filtered water that protects your family and your appliances. So call 1-800-WATER-99 or visit LifeSourceWater.com. LifeSource. Taste and feel the difference.
Warranty limitations apply. KTAR-FM, Glendale, Phoenix. Arizona's breaking news and traffic. KTAR News.